Hello there, people of the internet. Welcome to, I'm not sure if this would be episode 1 or episode 2 of Driving the Cougar, but the entire plan that I have for this series is to go ahead and either fix or upgrade something on the Cougar and then drive it out to somewhere, and that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. The Cougar's always had some sort of misfire to it. It's always had an intermittent misfire that I was never able to pin down simply because it didn't happen very often, or at least not often enough for me to be able to tell which cylinder it's on. I've tried getting rid of it by replacing basically everything. I've replaced the PCM, I've replaced the fuel injection system. Of course, I've done cap, rotors, wires, plugs, all that too. Compression testing. Compression looked fine, or at least it did, like 100,000 miles ago. As of right now, the Cougar's got about 215,000 miles on it. I'm wearing my Sunday's best. Let's go ahead, hop in there, and see if we can figure out why the hell that misfire exists. I think it's going to be a lot easier to find now because the intermittent misfire has become less and less intermittent. So we should be able to at least find something. My plan, I'm going to check out, the basics first, look at the plugs, wires, cap, rotor, all the basic shit. If all that looks alright, then we'll move on to some more intense stuff. Now, if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm woefully unprepared for working on this car here. I have this container of tools with quite a bit of stuff missing from it, and quite a bit of stuff that I stuck in here just over time that isn't supposed to be in here. I got a magnet on a stick. That'll come in handy for, trying to get things. I got those stupid little cheap wrenches that you get whenever you're trying to build something. I think we got these back whenever we were building our shed on our property, and I just decided to keep them. They're 10 millimeters though, and 10 millimeters are consistently getting lost, so backups. Wonder how many foot-pounds of torque I can get out of those things. Ooh, a washer, that'll be great. I have this for electrical work, and I used to have a box of electrical connectors in here, but I guess I don't anymore. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my ratchet, my spark plug socket, which does not have the rubber inside of it. That'll be great. I got this extender here, probably gonna need me a bigger extender. Okay, now that I have my setup here, let me go ahead and run you guys through all the problems that the Cougar has that I'm going to be fixing slowly over time, simply because I don't have the time or the money or the patience to do it all in one sitting. So as we progress through the episodes of Driving the Cougar, I will slowly and eventually fix everything, and that'll be great. Alright, where do I start on all the problems that this old girl has? First off, definitely has a water leak. I'm pretty sure it is from the timing chain cover because we got some water sitting down there, so yeah, that's not good. I gotta take care of that before that starts eating away at that. So definitely has a water leak of some sort. Obviously the timing chain cover's leaking. We got a valve cover leak back here, so I'm gonna have to pull the intake off and fix that before that catches on fire. And maybe I'll just leave it there. I mean, it's winter, fire's warm, so we'll see what happens with that. Leaking brake fluid from the master cylinder here, the gasket in it's just wore out. I'll probably end up replacing that too. Engine's got a lot of condensation inside of it, and as you can see from our little milky spot right there in the oil, it's not that big of a deal. That's kind of a normal thing here in Florida, especially with these older cars. And I say it's not that big of a deal because it's not that much condensation. Get back in there, you. I'm also leaking power steering fluid, like a lot of power steering fluid. Okay, but yeah, tons of power steering fluid leaking down there. I don't think I have any oil leaks. I might have some sort of an oil leak out of the valve cover gasket and the timing chain cover, but the oil pan's fine. Transmission, she's leaking out of every orifice. I already redid the seals on the transmission and that didn't fix it, so that tells me I got a crack in the bell housing somewhere. So the only way I'm going to fix that is to replace the transmission itself, which I'll probably end up doing after this one dies. This right here is probably where our water leak is coming from as well. Our reservoir tank over here has definitely seen better days and is cracked and broken and shattered just like my hopes and dreams. God, that is like really broken. It's fractured all the way down to there. Yeah, there's one of my water leaks for sure. Up here, I got to pull these covers off because I guess over time all this little debris has slowly worked its way down into the firewall of the Cougar, and as a result, get my old key out here. I didn't realize this door was locked. There we go. As a result, we got us a bit of a water leak down here, and I'd like to get that taken care of before we start having rust. Originally, I redid these panels as well, but that was, hell, 3.5 years ago. They're about due for another paint job just from people getting in and out of my car. Oh, look, we got some vegetation starting to grow right there. That's lovely. Up here, we got probably about, oh, I don't know, 50 pounds worth of Bondo on this thing. Paint's starting to come off. We got some rust starting to show through. That's got to get taken care of. That'll probably be one of my more immediate things. Probably just going to rattle can it to stop the rust. I did that over here, as you can see. But we got so much Bondo on this thing, it's ridiculous. All along here is just cracking Bondo. All along here is just cracking Bondo. And every time it cracks, we get more water on the metal, so that's something that needs addressed. Down here, we got a speed hole starting to form. Weight reduction. That's great. Our speakers right here, I just kind of pulled those out of a Buick, I think. Yeah, so those are factory, but not Cougar factory. Originally, the speakers in this thing were absolutely blown to high hell. We got some trim starting to come off of here, but all this is just cosmetic stuff. Looks like it's time to wash the old girl too. But first things first, we're gonna figure out why she ain't running proper. I imagine that it's just because it's an old ass engine. There's condensation inside of it. She's wore to high hell. But I am going to go ahead, probably pull off my custom K&N regular air intake right there. Go down there, pull out some plugs. These right here are pretty easy to get to. That's why I like these old 5.0s. They're very easy to work on. We're gonna check that out. We're gonna, looks like I got some sort of oil leak up here too. I'm probably gonna crimp that down with a hose clamp or something. Hell, I might just bring out the water hose and rinse this bad boy off. Go ahead and get some of this dirt and crud and other crap out of here. So if the plugs look all right, I'm gonna check the wires. The wires don't look too bad. I replaced them not too terribly long ago. I'm gonna probably check the voltage. Hey, look, you can still see the mark from whenever we timed this thing. I'll check the voltage and whatnot. If that doesn't look too good, then I'll probably replace this coil because I never replaced it. It is original, and it does look like it has some corrosion on it. So that might actually be where our issue is coming from. Of course, hell, take a look at all this mess down here. Definitely might have some issues there. What the hell is this supposed to plug into? I don't know. All the different relays and wires and electrical shit. Yep. That'll be an adventure. Alright, first things first, pull off some plugs, see what we got. Alright, well, I just kind of grabbed my water hose, gave her a quick spray down. Probably should have disconnected the battery before I did that, but hey, at least now I know I don't have any loose or exposed wires anywhere, because I didn't hear any sparking, I didn't get electrocuted, things like that. I don't smell any smoke, I don't smell any fire, so that's a good sign. Now we're going to let it drip dry for about 15 minutes. I was going to say I'm hungover, but I'm actually still kind of drunk from last night, so I'm going to go make some coffee and let old Mother Nature do her thing. Don't spray your engines whenever they're hot, by the way, you'll crack something. And of course that was just water, so We didn't get all the oil off of there, but man, we got a lot of dirt and crud off of there. So now, hopefully, I won't get as dirty. I don't really know why I cleaned the engine, but hey, I cleaned the engine. Okay, hurry up and dry. I need coffee. All right, got me a cup of dirty bean water, and I was actually wondering why the hell I bothered wearing gloves. I mean, I'm not against getting dirty. So I took them off whenever I was hosing down my car. And then I looked down and realized I've already got a bloody knuckle. I'm like, how the hell did I give myself a bloody knuckle already? All I did was use the hose on the car. But that's just how it goes, I guess. So she's been sitting for a while, and I'm telling you right now, already she looks pretty like a lot better. Just hosing her down, man. What a difference. Hell, that's 50 horsepower right there. Cleaner engine. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I got me like a can and a half of brake clean. I'm gonna spray down where the spark plugs go in, just to make sure that no water gets in there. For the most part, I just didn't want anything dripping on the engine. Doesn't have to be completely dry. Hell, this is Florida. Everything is wet. Hell, there's water inside the engine. Everything is wet in Florida. So I'm gonna spray down the plugs just to, you know, dry them off. And then I'm gonna start yanking them out. We're gonna have a look at them. Let me set my coffee down and put my gloves on. All right, well, I'm pulling my plugs, and I'm telling you right now, the plugs are not the problem. These things look immaculate. I think I've got like 50,000-60,000 miles on this set of plugs. It might be running a tiny bit lean, but Jesus Christ, these plugs. I cleaned this one up, so it does look a lot better than it did, but these plugs are far from bad. So I don't think plugs are the problem with the Misfire, and that means we have a bigger problem. That's the concerning part. Alright, well, while I was thinking about the spark plug and how that's probably not the problem, I decided to go ahead and investigate what the problems might be. And I figured it might be something electrical, so took a look at our idle control right here, and we definitely have some sort of jerry-rigging right there. That's probably not factory. So I doubt that connection is, you know, proper. But that probably wouldn't cause the misfire. This over here might, though. This right here runs directly to our throttle control, and this is probably one of the sketchiest Mickey Mouse wire jobs I have ever seen. As a matter of fact, I don't really feel comfortable touching that. How the hell has that not caught on fire? So I'm gonna grab my little electrical doohickey and crimp that down properly, and hopefully that will at least make it run better. I imagine that right there can't hurt. I found it! Yeah, I'm not surprised. Spark plug in the back where the valve cover was leaking on it. Got about, that's fine, it's custom. another speed dent in this thing. But the plug that had a few tens of thousands of miles worth of oil splashed on it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Little on the worn side. I also notice quite a bit of buildup on the head of this plug. So we definitely have something going on with that cylinder. That might be our problem there. What I should have done is I should have saved my old spark plugs from back yonder, because those were in relatively decent shape. This one is not. This one is not. So I'm going to do the right thing and grab me a file and see if I can clean this up a bit. Or at least well enough, because I don't have any spark plugs with me. I should have thought ahead on that one, but I didn't. It's a way of life. Alright, pretty much all the other plugs look fantastic. That's a good looking plug right there. So I definitely have something wrong with that one cylinder. My bet, probably something wrong with the fuel injector itself. I don't think I replaced the fuel injector on that one, so I'll probably end up doing that, but that'll be at a later point in time. I'm pretty sure that cleaned up spark plug will definitely monumentally make this thing run a lot better. But hey, now I know what cylinder it is, which is kind of what I was hoping I would figure out with this endeavor. So I know what cylinder is not functioning properly, so that'll be the one that we check out. Anyway, as I was going through the electrical work more and more and more, I began to see some sketchier and sketchier and sketchier stuff. So I took a little while to go ahead and fix that. I imagine that that right there was not only a fire hazard, but also probably attributed to the Cougar not running well. So that's been fixed, and the plugs, they look alright except for that one. I cleaned up that one. I'm finishing up now. Then we're going to start her up, see how she sounds. Okay, well, today's getting better. Trying to pull this bastard out. She broke on me, so now I have a broken spark plug, and now the Cougar's definitely going to have a misfire. So I actually have a spark plug being delivered, so yeah. We're going to wait for that to show up before we fire up the Cougar. On the bright side, though, I don't feel as hungover as I was. I should probably eat something, though. You know what sounds really good? Chinese food. You know what I can't go get right now? Chinese food. Ah, damn it. Alright, so I figure since I already have one being delivered, I'd go ahead and just have them bring me two. Or replace that one that had a bunch of crap on it that I kind of filed down. Because why not? They're coming anyway. And then I'll keep that one that I filed down and cleaned up as a spare, just in case I ever find myself in a situation like this again. So that's the plan. After that gets here, then we'll fire her up and go for a drive, I guess. It ain't driving the Cougar unless we go for a drive. Maybe we'll go get Chinese food. That sounds good. Some goddamn Chinese food. Alright, I figure since I got delivery coming, I'd have them bring me a couple of hose clamps too, and we can fix some of these leaks. This hose right here. This one's leaking all over the side of my radiator, and you can see it very, very vividly. How to hose that off a little bit better. So I'm going to stick a clamp on that one. That'll fix that problem. And this up here, obviously we got quite a bit of oil coming out of this one too. So I'm going to throw a hose clamp on this one right here. This should be alright. Just, I mostly get blow by out of that right there, and this doesn't seal so tight, so a hose clamp on that should do it some good. So that right there ought to take care of a couple of leaks. Alright, well, now we play the waiting game. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go grab some food. Alright, well, I got those new plugs, tossed them in. I went ahead and I put some hose clamps on those hoses, so now I don't have to worry about that leaking anymore. I think we're ready to start her up. We're gonna start her up, see how she sounds. Fingers crossed she sounds alright, but I'm sure she'll sound a hell of a lot better than she did last time I started her. I know there for a good long while that misfire was pretty significant. Alright, where's my keys? I guess it would probably help if I had the battery hooked up. Tell you one thing, this old girl needs new battery terminals. Definitely needs some new battery terminals. These ones are a little on the smushed side, but hey, they're still working well enough to start the car. So that's way better than some of the other stuff I've had to work with. Ooh, Nelly. Yeah. We need new terminals. Okay, let's start the car. Hey, we have lights. Well, that misfire's gone. That's a good sign. And she sounds a hell of a lot better. Wait for the aisle to go down. That's where the true test lays. Idle goes down. I don't hear any misfires. I don't hear any popping. Hey, that's a thumbs up for me. It actually sounds really good. Let's smell the exhaust. Good old exhaust test. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she smells better. There for a while, she was not smelling so great. Probably because of that misfire. Smell a lot of gas. Yep, misfire's gone. She sounds good. All right, no point in wasting gas. Since I was waiting anyway, I figured I'd go ahead and give my air filter here a good scrub. I don't have any proper oil for it, so I'm using some Remington oil. This right here is what I normally use on my firearms, but I guess in this case, I'm using it on this. Alright, now I finished putting her back together, and we'll go for a drive. Alright, now I don't got a camera stand in this car, so I just kind of got this sitting on my dash. Let's go ahead, start her up. Oh yeah, she's running real smooth now. She's running nice and smooth. I don't have any air conditioner, so we're opening up the window. Hey, she actually sounds really good. With what I saw on the plug, looked like oil deposits, so probably gonna have some sort of valve train issue there, which I'm not surprised of. This engine's got 216,000 miles on it. Over half of those are from me. I've driven the absolute hell out of this car. Okay. Oh no! Camera fell like I knew it would. I don't think I have anything here to really prop it up with, so we're just gonna hope that it doesn't happen again. She sounds really good. Way, way better than she sounded earlier. A little bit of a stutter there, but that's all right. New spark plugs. And one of them was a little bent. I had to bend it back into place. I'm assuming that in storage or something, it probably got smacked, so I bent it until it looked relatively right. Good enough anyway. She's firing on all 8, so huge plus. I have the longest, most ominous driveway though. It's fun whenever it rains. I mean, there's mud puddles. Go mudding in the Cougar. Whee, there's one of those mud puddles. Now right now I got some octane booster in the gas tank in this thing, so we're gonna see what she does whenever she's firing on all 8 properly. I don't really know where we're gonna go. Now that I've eaten, I don't really want to spend the money. Oh God. I don't really want to spend the money on Chinese food, so I don't know, maybe there's a freshwater spring up here. We can run up there, see if they're open. It's been a good while since I've been in the freshwater spring, so that's where we're going. One of these days I'll have to swim in it, but it ain't gonna be today. Well, I don't know. I am in kind of dirty, disgusting clothes, so. One thing I really love about this car, with the 5.0 in it, I got Flowmasters on the bottom. Got a little bit of a misfire still there, but it might just be those spark plugs breaking in still. But one thing I really like about this car with the exhaust on it, alright, clear that way, clear that way. She sounds like a muscle car. Alright, little bit of a misfire at first. She's kind of got a little bit of a rattle to her that I don't seem to remember, but Maybe she's still breaking herself in. We are firing on all 8 cylinders. I got her up at about 65 right now. As we go, the misfire I had whenever I first started went away. She feels a lot better now. And she's starting to smooth down too, so. Oh yeah, there she goes. Now we're running all right. I turn on my radio, but YouTube doesn't like me copyrighting music and whatnot, so no radio for this drive. Alright folks, well, she drives like a whole new car. Man, she rides way smoother than before. And now we're gonna make sure I did everything right by taking the dirt road out to the springs. It's a little bumpy, so it's gonna shake me around some, shake the Cougar around some. We're gonna hopefully make sure nothing falls off. Wow, she's running immaculately good. Oh, UPS man. Hi, UPS man. Okay, here's the bumpy part. Ooh, Nelly. Old girl's not designed for roads like this. Oh, God. Alright, folks. She made it no problem. Listen to that. Man, she sounds like new. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, let me grab my Gun Owners of America hat. Shout out to them at Firearms Policy Coalition. We need them right now more than ever. Go ahead and kill the Cougar and walk out here and I'll show you all the springs. Looks like I'm the only one here. Don't know why no one else would want to be here on a Wednesday afternoon. It's a nice place. Right off the bat, very eerie being here by myself. I'm used to seeing a bunch of people here, but there's no one here. Maybe it's got something to do with COVID. Everyone's still home. Oh well, more spring for me. Or hell, maybe it's flooded with how much rain we've been getting. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she's flooded. Still far from bad though. Normally it's about another 10 feet down before you hit water. This right here is a pretty significant drop off. There's a wood platform over there too, currently underwater. So yeah, I guess this explains why no one's here. Of course, hell, I'd still swim in it. I have swam in it, actually. There was once where it was so flooded that it came up over this thing. That was pretty amazing. I wish it wasn't flooded because normally it's just like crystal clear water. It's a freshwater spring. And it drops down right here probably about 50 feet or so. So, crystal clear water, 50 foot down, you can see right down to the bottom. Man, that's a pretty spot. As a matter of fact, I probably have some footage of that from somewhere. I'll see if I can splice that in. Anyway, here we go. Drove the Cougar to the spring. Look, there's something out there. I bet you if I were to cast a line in here, I'd be catching stuff all day long. Well, folks, thanks for watching. I don't really have a good angle here, so I guess I'll stand right here. Good backdrop, though. If you like this kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I plan on doing this kind of stuff more often. I figure, hey, I'm going to be working on the Cougar anyway. May as well make a series out of it. Not only that, but YouTube's anti-gun, so I'm going to need other content as well, especially if I'm going to start monetizing. I'm about to hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who is on board with that. Hey, I never thought that I'd be here, but here I am. And I'm going to need content to monetize. So car content is one of those things that you can monetize. Might do guitars too, but I'm not quite skilled enough at that yet. Give me time. Alright, like the video, share with your friends. That being said, I don't really know what else to add to the end of the Cougar episodes. I mean, I know what to do whenever I'm at my gun range and I'm ending those videos, but what do I do with the Cougar one? If you have any suggestions, let me know. I heard something. Look, they're biting out there. I don't even have a line in the water and they're still biting. Oh, maybe I'll make some fishing content too. People like fishing. I know I like fishing. Maybe I'll bring y'all hunting too, whenever I go out and do that. Anyway, just food for thoughts. Thanks for watching, guys. I ought to make myself an outro for the Cougar as well. I'll look into that. Alright, I'm done rambling. Bye. real quick, just because it's funny. Look at the water that spurred up from the belt from whenever I hosed her down. Ah, that's funny. Wasn't expecting it. Whenever I opened the hood, I saw that mini heart attack. Just one of those things. All right, I don't really have a good place to put the camera, so right here will work fine. I'll be dipped. Don't ask how this happened, but I actually found the speakers, the original speakers that were in my Cougar. And you're gonna... Hi, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin. He's making noise again. Guys, Kevin's making noise again. Kevin's my peacock. I got 4 of them. They're all named Kevin. But you can actually see a water line on this speaker right here. The Cougar sat in water for obviously a while, and the entire Cougar's got a water line on it. You can really see it on the inside. And these right here are the rear speakers. This is how they were whenever I pulled them out. And I'm sure you could imagine that they didn't sound very good, but they still worked. How do you like that? And they are originals. Alright, I just wanted to show that off because I was talking about the speakers earlier. There's Kevin again. Other Kevins. Whew. My legs are tired from working a long day. I went out and got Chinese anyway.